Well, let's see what's on TV.
From now on, like your parents were, you are the secret force of pole position.
They're moving real fast, they're the only ones who can get there on time.
Okay, sis.
And never too far behind, they are always fighting crime.
Stop time, Dan. Ready when you are, Rhodey.
In the danger zone. Pretty soon they'll be off on a mission.
Hydrofoil mode, Rhodey. Hydrofoil engaged, Dan. What's behind
Wheels, hovercraft, quick!
What's behind this control? Only there are the laws. Sit back and watch them go. Hell, 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 hell.
Play some pole position itself. Hi everybody, thank you for joining me on today's edition of Glen's Retro Show. Well, there's two things I really enjoy. Tiny Arcade and pole position. So I was really excited when I got a package today from Super Impulse, and they sent me none other than their Tiny Arcade version of pole position. Let's take a look at this little guy. Okay, so let's take a look at this latest and greatest from Super Impulse Tiny Arcade line. It's pole position, and it's really neat. They're doing a driving game. As you can see, they've done other games like Pac-Man and Galaxian and Space Invaders and Miss Pac-Man, Tetris, Q*bert, but they haven't done any driving games. So this is the very first one that they've done. And you can see it's a little bit different. There's a little steering wheel on there, but it's not actually a steering wheel. It's still the joystick, but it's still kind of nice they put that on there to kind of give you the arcade feel of what pole position was like. And you can see it's the box, once again, is their small size plastic, very colorful, with the pole position logo on it. And once again, you get a very clear view of everything inside. And when the side decals, Super Impulse has always done a real nice job with their decals on these machines. So once again, done a nice job here. This one still has a little tab in here, so it's not running in the demo mode yet at all. So actually, when I have it back here, we'll pull this thing out. So now we should be able to get it into demo mode. There we go. Pull that and put that aside. And once again, it is a keychain. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. It'd be kind of nice if Super Impulse can put a mode on this thing to where you can have it off, on, or permanently on in like a demo mode to put on Christmas trees or decorations. People really do want that. And with Hallmark selling these things, it shouldn't be too hard to put another option in here. It'll drain the batteries, but that's okay. I wouldn't mind putting this on my Christmas tree, having all these guys light up and playing on it. And you can see right here, there's a little demo going right now. And to get it a little bit closer, you guys can see it a little bit better here. There we go. And Super Impulse has always been pretty good at recreating these game ROMs. Now, none of these are the arcade ROM, but they're very good approximations in these tiny little machines, which is pretty good in my book. So we're going to take this thing out of the box here and take a look at the actual console and do a little gameplay. Okay, we have our machine out of the box, and Super Impulse always gives you a little catalog, which is kind of nice, a little Super Impulse catalog here, and showing all their little things that they have, and it's quite a bit. When you look at this catalog, I mean, they have a lot added to this world's smallest toy line here, and here's all the tiny arcades coming up. Here we go, the tiny arcades. I have not been disappointed with any of them. You can see now they have the pole position and the Rally X on there as well. I'll be doing Rally X review very soon. They also have their micro arcade line, which I've done videos on already, and they have some really nice games in here. It's really, really nice. A very tiny Rubik's Cube, Tetris Tilt. They have a lot of things in this catalog, and it's again on a tiny piece of paper, but they have so many things on here. That's only half of it. They have a lot more here on the other side. I really like those little gyros. For small Rubik's Cubes, all kinds of things. I mean, you really were, if you go into the store and see these little things, the quality on these things is also very, very good. They're not cheap. I mean, these guys generally go for, like Cracker Barrel would be about 20 bucks. If you can see them at Walmart, they're usually around $13, like $12.95. And on eBay, they're about 24. But in the quality on all of them has been really, really good. I've not been disappointed by anything here, let alone trying all these other things. But that'll be for another time, another place. Another thing they give you, of course, is a little tiny arcade manual talking about the game itself. And it's just very basic information on here, you know, telling you about the on-off switch in the back, and they do include batteries, which is kind of nice. It's 3 AAA batteries, and it is accessed by, you know, having a screw to pop it off in case the little kids, you know, get their hands on this, they don't swallow the batteries. And just some basic information here from FCC. And let's see if there's anything on the back here. Nothing. Is there anything here on the, let's see what we have here on the actual controls. Let's go over here so you guys can see it and I can see it. So the first button, which is the one over in the center, is just your start button. And then you have it for using as, you know, your gas and your brake button. So there's no shifting button. Now in pole position, you did have your throttle, your gas pedal, and then you had a shifter and a brake. So I guess this will do the shifting for you all by itself. Let's get this box out of the way for right now and take a look at the actual machine. And once again, they've done a nice job here. One thing I still wish they would do, of course they probably couldn't do it between my last videos and now, is change this particular decal right there. The coins should be on each side of the pole position logo. I just think it would look better. Again, it's a nice little touch, but it would have been better if they had one 25-cent pole position and then 25-cent on the other side. But not a huge deal, not a deal breaker. It's a 1.44-inch display, which has always been very crisp. And what's nice about this is that the marquee up here does light up, which is really, really nice. And again, the plastic is a standard machine, but it's a good solid plastic. I mean, there's a keychain. It's got to take the bumps, knocking around in the car if you're using it for that. But again, very good quality on here. Your speaker is still on the bottom. You have your battery compartment here, and of course your on-off switch here. And then we have our 2 buttons and our joystick. Now the joystick does go up, down. Actually, it goes up a little bit. It does, but not much. It does go left and right though. So I'm not sure if it was designed to go in the other positions, but there's a little movement on it. Not a big deal. So let's put this little guy down here and do a little gameplay of pole position from Super Impulse and their tiny arcade line. Okay, so we're going to give this guy a little try. Again, I'm doing this through a viewfinder, so I'm not the best at playing these games to begin with, but I'm definitely worse going through my viewfinder. But once you have the machine on, pressing any button here will start the game on. We'll get some power here. Here we go. And once again, that's the standard screen you would get on the arcade when there's no quarters inserted into the game. So let's put a coin in here. Is it this one? There we go. Oh, there we go. Prepare to qualify. Not sure which button is my gas. There we go. So the right button is my gas. And the joystick works pretty well here. It's not a steering wheel, obviously. But for what it is, the car responds very well. I mean, if anyone's ever played like Checkered Flag on the Atari Jaguar, will know really bad steering in a game. But it's actually working pretty well here. Again, I'm just going through a viewfinder, trying to play it. Whoa! I'll be impressed if I qualify. Whoa! So the graphics look really, really nice. The scaling works pretty well. Oh, I made it. I get to prepare to race. So again, these screens, as small as they are still very, very sharp and vibrant. Try not to crash. Try not to crash. The sounds are pretty nice. I mean, they work pretty well. They had the little water spot there, which the arcade had, which slows you down. You want to avoid them. The only thing that would have been nice is if they did include on the second button a shifter or pressing up on the joystick to shift, because that is part of the gameplay, but it's not really ruining the game. It's just something I remember from the arcade that would have been nice to have. Maybe an automatic mode and a manual mode if you wanted it. I'm gonna crash. Ooh, almost hit him. Uh-oh. But still, it is fun. I don't have the best eyes in the world. Oh, I got extended time, and the the scrolling effect of the cars, the sounds are all pretty good, especially considering it's a recreation. They do a very, very good job. Ah, but I'm just doing a very job of driving. If I can finish one game here. Oh, extended time again. Nice. Oh, turned a little too early there. But the steering wheel joystick, if you will, is still very responsive. All the joysticks have always been very responsive. Oh, I'm gonna hit them. So that definitely helps here. Except I just crashed into a billboard. And there's little graphic changes in like the car, but it's not a terrible thing. Again, the screen is so small, it's not going to matter. The important is the gameplay, and it is so hard to play through a viewfinder. Oh, extended time again. And the track is a little bit different. Again, most people won't know that, so it doesn't really matter. It's still got a lot of turns. Whoa! Oh my God. Let's see if we can get a little closer gameplay footage here. Maybe I could do better. So on the arcade, you definitely would have, at high speed, skated off the road a lot easier, so it's a little more forgiving. But I can accept that on a, on a small little machine like this. It actually helps the gameplay. Otherwise, man, I've been really in bad shape. Ooh, ooh. Oh my God. Don't play through a viewfinder, folks. Okay, it looks like I got a score in there. Very cool. I get to put my name in here. Glen's Retro Show, pole position from Super Impulse. Let me give you my final thoughts. So what's my final thoughts of the Super Impulse Tiny Arcade pole position? Well, I do find it pretty enjoyable. I did like it. I do think on this particular version there was more liberties taken in the gameplay. There's no gear shifter, some graphic changes to the actual track and how your car handles on there. But it's got to take into consideration, it's a small little machine, there's no steering wheel on it. It's just a basic gameplay of it, and I did find it fun. And again, you can find these around in Walmart for like $13, $12.95, Cracker Barrel at $19, and of course, if you go on eBay, they go for about $24, so none of those are really unreasonable. I mean, at $12, it's an absolute no-brainer. I would drop that in a hat. Even the $19, it's a fun little game, and brings back the basic feeling of pole position you can get on a tiny little machine like this. So if you do like this video, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Do visit Super Impulse's website. They have a lot of neat things on there. They really do, like pole position and their other tiny arcade line, but they have more things than that. And I do thank you all for spending some time with me today. Stay tuned for the next episode where I'll do Super Impulse's Rally X. So thanks for watching, everyone, and remember, no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, game on. It's just, you know, something that would have been nice if they maybe had the option. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! What? Oh my God! Oh my God! Try that again.